Hey snowmobilers, I'm in Red Lake, Minnesota on my way to the Black Cat Sports Bar in Thief River Falls. It's 5 degrees, the wind is howling, and the sun isn't even up yet. What am I doing out here? Why am I going to the Black Cat Sports Bar? Well, that's a whole story in itself. This is going to be a great day. Let's go.
He's kind of.
All right, so here we are in the Arctic Cat factory parking lot. We have the entire lot to ourselves and also the lobby to change or do whatever we want. So that was pretty cool. Here I'm in group 2, and our leader, Brian Nelson, just pulled away and we're ready to go. We're pulling away and we're going to do a little ditch riding before we get to the trails to use those. We're also going to do some river riding while we're at it here. The Thief River, we'll pick that up here in a little bit. You know, one of the things that I'd like to mention, just as we're looking at that, the sundogs, which are just beautiful today, and they stuck around for a long time. I kept looking over at them as we were riding, and it was pretty cool. But it's also very cold, and the wind was pretty nasty too. I think that was probably the worst part. The temperature wasn't too bad, but the wind was. Anytime we took a glove off or something, the wind was pretty biting, and so our brakes didn't last too long, and we just had to keep moving. All right, so here we are in the ditch, and like I was saying while we're riding here, I appreciate you guys coming along today and watching this. I'm just going to cut it short. You know, we're not going to do the entire ride. I don't know if it was like a 5-hour ride, maybe a little bit longer, and so there's a lot of footage that I had to cut through to get to this point. And what I do want to say is that I want to thank you for watching today and coming along. I hope you guys enjoy this, and like my other videos, I have an opportunity to spend some more time with manufacturers. But when manufacturers look at my my subscription numbers, they're not coming up with something that they're interested in. The manufacturers are kind of cautiously optimistic that someday I might have enough of an audience that they could talk to me about it. So while we're riding here, if you could just hit that subscribe button for me, I'd really appreciate it. And this is the Thief River here that we're riding through. I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe, because that's going to help my numbers quite a bit, and in the process of doing that, bring you guys more content that you're probably more interested in. This was really fun. To have this opportunity was great, but I know that you guys are more interested in you know, specific snowmobile model videos and reviews and you know, accessories and things like that. And my subscriber count right now needs a little help, so if you guys could chip in, I'd appreciate it. It's free. Here we are still on the river, and this was pretty fun. I don't get to ride rivers very often. I should do more of it, but having this opportunity is pretty cool. We're riding along here, and this, again, we're just on the eastern edge of Thief River Falls. We're not even on the way yet. One of the cool things about the ride today is that we're going to be going past a lot of, watch your head. We're going to be going past a lot of farm fields, farm equipment, and as I'm riding past that stuff, I just had like a flashback to growing up in southeastern Minnesota, riding ditches, riding creeks and rivers, and any place that we found, because there wasn't a trail system down there when I was growing up, and to have that now, I mean, you kind of are spoiled to have that sort of stuff. And but we would find snow any place we could, fence lines or whatever, and we would just ride all day, every day, and have a great time. And this reminded me of that. Here we are in the little town of Grygla, Grygla, and we're going to get gas here. We're just kind of stop it so everybody can line up and get fuel. Most people got fuel, some did not. I didn't. This was about halfway in to the ride out to the Skime Ranch, and so I didn't feel like I should get gas here. And because of that, I ran short on the way back. So, the old saying when you're trail riding, never pass up a chance to get gas. And I think that definitely applies to me today because I bypassed this one chance to get gas, and unfortunately, I regretted it later. Here you see the cows over on the right. Those are Roger Skime's cows. We are going past his ranch area right now, and we're going to come up to his house here, which is pretty incredible. The whole ranch is pretty incredible. Uh, we were so lucky today to have the ability to ride to his ranch, spend time with him, spend time with a lot of legendary Arctic Cat riders and snowmobilers in general. And not only that, but it was just such a great day to spend together. Everybody, we just had a great time. I can't describe how wonderful it was to have this ride today. Okay, so here we are. We were pulling up to Roger's house, and I'm not going to show you the inside of the house. We're just going to go from here. We'll switch back to when we left. But when we're here, we had lunch, and I don't know, there was probably 60, 70 people in his house, just to give you an idea how big his house is. And we just had a great time. It was a beautiful, beautiful location, beautiful house, and um, and we had a great time talking and chatting. He's got a really cool uh, man cave with some Arctic Cat snowmobiles in it, and just set up really cool. The inside of the house looks pretty much like the outside. A lot of log cabin features inside the house, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And here's the other thing: uh, as we're as we walk inside, we turn and look out his basically great room window, and we see all the snowmobiles. And it was just such a beautiful day, and having all those snowmobiles piled up there in his yard was pretty cool. Here I am. I was waiting for a group, and you can see Brian Nelson in the orange jacket way ahead of us, past us, and now I just wait for my opportunity, and here we are. And I believe we're in group one at this point. I don't know how we ended up switching with, we were a group two, but we're now all of a sudden we're the first group out. So I don't know how that worked, but here we are. We're leaving the Skime Ranch. We're heading back, taking the ditches and trails and winding through everything. It was a lot of fun. One thing I'll say about this stretch is, so remember now, Brian Nelson is a former I-500 racer and winner. He raced both for Arctic Cat and John Deere snowmobiles when that was the thing. The John Deere cross-country snowmobiles were really extremely competitive back in the 70s. John Deere really put a lot of their weight, engineering-wise, into their snowmobiles, and they had a great reputation, and they showed it in the cross-country races. And so our leader today, Brian Nelson, is one of those racers. And then between him and me here are the three old guys. So Rex Hibbert, Rob Hallstrom, and Paul Dick are ahead of me someplace in here. And just to be able to ride in that same group of people, it just was a huge thrill. I can't describe how cool that was to ride with those guys. Okay, so as we come up here, again, I think this is where you'll get to see Brian Nelson in the orange vest, and you'll see him point to another snowmobiler that's seated. We'll come up here. I believe this is it right here. So you'll see Brian Nelson standing, and he'll point to another rider, and watch what happens after that. So there, Brian Nelson there in the orange is pointing to the other rider on the left-hand side who's seated. And then watch what happens here. I did not know this was going on. All I know is, like in a snowmobiler, I'm just here, I'm checking my stuff, I'm making sure I stay warm, I'm waiting for these guys to work it out, and watch what they do. Gone. And everybody else is following. So those two guys decided to take off, and the rest of us now are left trying to catch up. Okay, and you can see people passing me. There's like now group 1 and group 2 together, and who knows who's in which group. I have no idea anymore. But here we are, but that's going to be important. So I highlighted that specific event. Brian Nelson pointing at another guy, and then the two of them decide they're going to go race like their hair is on fire. And we have a nice little straight, smooth stretch here. One of the smoothest areas, in spite of it not having a lot of snow, it was pretty rough. And you can see we've got farm fields left and right. This is like home. This is exactly what it was like riding in Dodge County, Minnesota in the 70s and 80s. There was no trails. There was just, here we are riding along. So, and I have no idea. Oh, we're on the river now. So now we're heading back. We're getting close to Thief River Falls again, and you can see how dark it's getting. And we got back around dusk or so. It was starting to get pretty dark by the time we got back to the parking lot. And then after this, we're going to head off to the Black Cat again for dinner. And then during dinner, there's going to be a lot of stories. And so what follows at the end of the video here is going to be a couple of those stories. And unfortunately, I don't know why I did not think of recording the entire thing. I just recorded snippets. And so what you're going to see are snippets of some of the talks. You're going to see the three old guys talk for a little bit, and then you're going to see, I believe Brian Nelson at some point gives a little talk. Joey Hallstrom is going to be kind of the master of ceremonies, and he's got a few things to say. And I want you to stick around to the very end and see what they have to say. Okay, here we are just on the kind of the west side of the Arctic Cat factory, and we'll come back around kind of past this big building on the left. We'll come past that and then circle back around to the parking lot. Please do stay till the end though, because like I said, some of the stories at the very end. Oh, Roger's going to give a little story about the development of the slide rail suspension. That's pretty cool. So that's coming up. And please stay till the end of this one. I think it would be well worth the time, the next couple minutes, to be able to stay for that. There's another great day. I thank Arctic Insider for helping to put this on, Joey Hallstrom, and everyone at Arctic Cat for supporting this and helping to put this together. It really was a cool event. They say they're going to have more of these. So Arctic Cat fans, I want you to stay tuned to the Arctic Insider website and Facebook page. Make sure that you watch carefully for the next one of these. Hopefully there'll be more this year. I'm not sure if there will be or not, but definitely next year. They do want to continue this as a tradition. And what a really cool experience for Arctic Cat fans and for snowmobilers in general. We did have one Skidoo. I don't know where they went, but there was one Skidoo and one Yamaha built by Arctic Cat here today. And I don't know where they are. I lost track of them, but I did see them unload those snowmobiles. So for whatever reason, they brought their snowmobiles. That's great. We're all in it together. We're all snowmobiles, and we all had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
Over the last 5 years? Yeah, you started out, went to Churchill one time, then they got this really crazy idea to ride from Paul's Place in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, up to Alaska. And they ended at Fairbanks. It was about 5,000 miles, 30-some plus days.
Jeez, can you believe that?
Biased suspension, okay? Which that means that the suspension and rails could go up and down, whereas on the old sled they were just solid, just like a sleigh, a horse sleigh. So we went and got an attorney to put together a patent for a spring-biased slide rail suspension. Little did we know, well, I guess I could better say it, we didn't know anything about patents. And the deal is, you cannot sell anything with that idea or in it 1 year prior to when you make application. And we were poor, we didn't have, we had prototypes, they were red, they weren't black panthers, they were red ones. But they were built like a panther with the motor down in front of the front end, leaf springs on it, aluminum, and that is the snowmobile that we made an application for panther now. And lo and behold, somebody came to salvage and bought one of those old Teslas, which had that suspension in it. And the fellow that came and was smart enough to figure out what he should do finally came to work for us. His name was Ole Tweet. So Ole Tweet was the little devil in the woodpile that caused us to lose the value of that suspension. Which of course I felt bad about. I should have known something about patent law and I didn't. But you know, at the end of the day, it really doesn't make any difference. We still have a spring bias patent suspension. All the other manufacturers have the same concept, the same idea, and you can only take a little credit and feel good about the fact that somebody beside yourself liked your idea. So that's the story about the slide rail suspension.
Pretty soon we get up 85, 90, if this is too fast. I don't need to go bouncing on my head down the trail anymore. And the guy went flying by me, and when he went by, I looked, it's Roger. So I slow down a little bit, and he lags back, and pretty soon here's Roger, he wants to race again. So we, 3-4 times we had to see who had the fastest snowmobile. It was pretty fun.
You go ahead and tell him to walk.
Hey, thanks for staying to the end. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope I see you on the trail.